I hope you're following along, not just in theory, but in practice. This means answering the question posed in the last video. I feel blank because blank. It may feel awkward at first, but after a few days it will get easier and you'll start to get the point. In this video, we're going to review the second of the open-ended questions. I will respond to this by. So, what's the big idea behind this question? What are you supposed to do with this? First, let's examine how we got here. We started with a rating, then we answered a question to put that rating into words, and a probable cause or source. Remember, our state might have us on a mountaintop, or it may have us just barely able to get out of bed. Most likely, it's somewhere in that gray area between those two extremes. So, now that you've created some self-awareness, what the hell are you supposed to do with it? Do you simply say, great, now it's time to start my day and get down to real work? Not so fast. We need to acknowledge that state and decide how to use it, or in many cases, how to correct it. Some examples. First, the mountaintop example, since this is much easier. Your rating was a 7, and you answered the first question with, I feel excited because yesterday I completed my primary tasks and I spent the afternoon in a continuing education class in a topic I really love. You might answer question number 2 with, I will respond to this by making sure I create tasks in the future that are a very reasonable scope because this gives me a real sense of accomplishment and I'm actually more productive. So what's happening here is increased self-awareness of what your triggers are for your emotional states. In this case, a positive one. Now, let's take a look at a more challenging scenario. Let's say your rating was a 3 and you answered the first question with, I feel defeated because nothing I worked on the prior day got finished and I've got a ton of new stuff today. This one is a lot trickier. There aren't many generic answers that fit every situation, but I'll give you an example for this one. Starting with a little bit of healthy self-talk, which never hurts. You might say, I will respond to this by not getting down on myself because I know that's only going to make things worse. Next, I'll look at all the stuff on my plate and figure out which one is most critical, the absolute must-happen item. I'll define the scope so it's doable in 1 day or less, breaking it down into component pieces if necessary. Everything else will just go into a holding pattern for the moment. Now, some of you are thinking there's no way you can limit yourself to one thing. You have a dozen that are critical. Well, guess what? You can only do one thing at a time. That's what the scientists have been telling us lately. Multitasking is a fallacy. There's always one thing that you can prioritize as the most urgent, and that's what you'll work on. If it's a big task, scale it down in scope so you can get enough of it completed in that first day so it moves from urgent to simply important. You can't keep telling yourself that you've got 24 number one priorities to finish by the end of the day or the world will come to an end. That's just setting yourself up for failure. So, tomorrow, start your day with question number 1, then move on to question number 2.